What's up, guys? Talk movies with us here, back again for another movie review of 50 Shades Freed, the third installment in this epic, fantastic trilogy.
50 Shades Freed stars, of course, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, much like the first two. And
what's this one about, right? The first one, they get acquainted, they fall in love. Second one is what?
They continue their relationship and, they get engaged. And this one, they finally are married.
Yes, they finally tie the knot. What we've all been waiting for.
This past week, I have, I guess, kind of forced George to watch the first two in anticipation of this one.
So basically, guys, I've watched 3 of these movies in a row, back to back to back.
I'm sorry.
You owe me a Rocky marathon.
I do.
Big time.
I do. And I just have to put a disclaimer out there that I read the books before the movies came out, and that is kind of why I saw the first movie, of course, because it was this big, huge thing. And then after that, you just feel, I felt like I had to just finish the series. So don't take this as me being the one who absolutely loves these movies. I do not by any means love these movies, but I had to finish them. But now we can talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So, like we said, 50 Shades Freed, they get married, and what comes with marriage, everything that, the honeymoon, right?
Yeah,
all that
the
kind
ups
of
and the downs, even though it's obviously not a normal relationship.
No,
he's a billionaire. She was this, small town, shy girl with no sexual experience, and
then she goes from that to,
being a freak in the sheets.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty damn good.
We did see this one in IMAX.
Yeah, we did see it in IMAX. We did have the pleasure of seeing it in IMAX. What a fantastic experience it was.
And of course, this one had the least amount of boobs out of all 3 movies.
Yeah, figures. We see it in IMAX, and the least amount of that going on. Yeah, I don't even know what to really say.
There's really not much to review. These movies have really no substance whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the first 2 movies, the acting is pretty terrible, and I do blame most of that on the script. The script is terrible. The script is so bad.
And from what we hear, the books are pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much you can expect from a book series that is written about this lifestyle, but this lifestyle, this BDSM, is all wrong. These books were based off of Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is them in a nutshell. I did enjoy the books, though, I will say. Mm-hmm. Even though they're terribly written, grammatically. So you can't really expect much.
I mean, as for the movies go, this is my biggest fault with them, is none of the characters are likable, in my opinion. The girl, whatever the hell her name is, Dakota Johnson, she's not very likable to me, and the guy is twice not as likable. I don't know. It's just that you're not rooting for anyone. You don't really care. It's why am I watching this when I could be doing other things in my life? It's
These movies aren't made for people like
Yeah, I will say this is definitely not my demographic, but I do understand people that do like them. I will say they are not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to be the first guy to tell you. I mean, listen, I didn't love any of these movies by any means. They were kind of hard to get through, but I think
they're more laughable than anything.
There's bottom of the barrel, and then there's this. It's not at the very bottom. I will give it that.
It's not rock bottom. It's just above. I will say that I think in this movie, the last one, they finally are somewhat likable. I mean, as likable as they can be.
Yeah.
And I feel like the chemistry between Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson in this one is much better than in the first 2. I feel like the first 2 was such an awkward mess.
Yeah.
You could tell that they were clearly uncomfortable. I mean, I think that this one is a step up from the other 2.
I mean, guys, take it from me. I've watched 3 of these movies in a row. I don't think I've ever watched any kind of movie of this genre.
Let alone, like a chick flick.
Day after day after day. So, I mean, the things you do for, yeah, but I will say I think this one is the best of the trilogy, if you will, because there's an actual ending. But like I said, it does conclude, and it has an ending.
It has a little bit of action.
It has a little bit of action. It's kind of like an Audi commercial.
It is an Audi commercial, and I must say that the most satisfying parts of this movie is the Audi R8 that Christian Grey has.
That car is friggin' beautiful.
For the longest time, it has been my favorite car. And to see it racing on like a back back road in like Washington or whatever. It was nice. I actually think that might have been one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, guys, one of my favorite parts of the movie is there's a scene where they're cooking up a steak, and then...
But she pulls it out of the oven.
Yeah, but besides that, they're eating a steak, and then she puts it on the fork, and she's cutting it or whatever, and it's like that perfectly cooked steak where it's like medium rare.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, I was like, oh man, that looks so good. Like that steak was better than any sex scene in the movie.
Well, the car was definitely better than any sex scene in the movie.
Oh, for sure.
There weren't too many sex scenes in this movie. Definitely less than the first two.
Yeah.
Because now they're married, and you know, now they're kind of finding other ways to have fun, I guess.
I don't know. You know what, I was even saying to her in the car on the way home, I was like, you know what, there was the least amount of sex, but how much are you really going to be able to get away with? Because the first one, you know, you did your thing with the first one, and the second one kind of had a different kind of vibe to it. I'm not going to mention any kind of gadgets that were used. Yeah.
I mean, they should have probably, if they were going to go out, they should have went balls deep.
Yeah, then you might as well just go on your phone, go on the computer. Like, why go to see this in the movie theaters?
It's
awkward.
It's a fantasy for women. That's what it is. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Not for me. This, like, it's not... You know.
I mean...
I can see why a lot of women... I mean, the theater was packed with old women.
Yeah, a lot of... Probably in the 50 to 60-year-old...
And they were, like, in packs. They were in packs.
Yeah, oof, boy.
There was maybe, like, 2 or 3 other guys I saw...
Yeah.
Which clearly they were also
other troopers.
dragged right into the theater. But, I mean, overall, I will say that this one is definitely the best one out of the 3.
And I will say, I feel like there's a little bit more of a structure to it.
It has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
There was some slight humor that was kind of enjoyable. There is less awkwardness throughout the film. I will say, there's still...
and I think that it has in part to do with maybe less sex scenes, but I think Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, like I said in the beginning, they were finally maybe comfortable with each other.
Yeah,
and
I mean...
at this point, they were probably like, let's just fucking get this done.
Yeah.
And let's just finish this, and then we're good to go.
I mean... I was even saying, I was like, how are they not cracking up laughing with this dialogue they're giving while they're filming? I'm like, they can't be serious. Like, they must be cracking up
Some of the lines were just, I mean, in this one, not so much, but the first 2, there are definitely some lines.
And there is some in this that are just, it's hilarious, but I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. It is what it is. I understand why people like them. They're definitely not for me.
And for any girls that are going to see it, Dakota Johnson's bodyguard in it probably would have made a good Christian Grey. I'm just gonna say that.
Bottom line is this movie made me want to buy an Audi, but definitely can't afford one. So
not an R8.
So
we're gonna have to win the lottery.
So 50 Shades of Farida. What are we grading this thing?
I'm giving it a C+. That's definitely reaching for it. I'm happy that it's finally over, and that, you know, when I talk about these movies, people are like, I can't believe you go and see them. It's just like, it was a commitment I had. I just had to finish them. C+ is what I'm giving it. What are you giving it?
For me, it was clear cut, way better than the first 2. I'll give it.
Oh boy.
All right. I'll give it.
The comments are coming.
Just so I'm not in the total doghouse tonight. I'm gonna go...
What?
C-. I'll go C.
I don't give a shit what you grade it.
All right, D+. D+ I'm giving this thing.
I'm going to bed.
God damn it. C. A+. Hands down, greatest film since E.T.
I mean... All right, so now that we've just talked about the movie, we kind of talked about all 3 of them. Let's just rank them really quick.
Let's rank them. Let's give them a quick ranking.
From bad to worst, because obviously these movies are not great. I'm going to go 50 Shades Freed, which is the 3rd one. I'm going to go 50 Shades Darker, which is the 2nd one. Being that the 2nd one was actually my favorite book out of the 3, so I'm surprised that I like the 3rd movie more. And then 50 Shades of Grey. Even though it was the first one, it was just... awful.
Yeah, I'm gonna go same ranking as you. I'm gonna go, you know, in reverse order of the movies. 3 being the best, 2 being second best, and 1. Even though 2 and 1 for me are very like
neck and neck, because they're almost the same
exact movie.
Yeah.
Except one has a helicopter, and he's like,
well, the second one he crashes the helicopter.
Yeah,
but he was sabotaged.
Yeah, he tries to be a like Predator, but yeah. 3, 2, 1. is my ranking.
3, 2, 1, and it's over too.
It's over. I hope I never have to watch these again.
What are you talking about? We're getting the 4K.
And she owes me a Rocky marathon.
I do owe him a Rocky marathon.
And possibly a Terminator marathon. We're working on it.
I mean, I've seen most of the Terminator movies.
It doesn't matter. You still owe me a marathon.
All right. Okay.
All right.
And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching our review of 50 Shades Freed. Be nice in the comments, please.
Please let us know what you thought about these fantastic films.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that is the end of that.
And the trilogy is over, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Yes, see you later.